Although there are 9 steps in the Quick Start guide, I'm only going to go up to step 8. The 9th one is about exporting this map after everything is done to an interactive Flash format that you could upload to a website. And primarily because of time, we just can't get to it in class, but if you're interested, I encourage you to give it a shot on your own, and I'd be happy to help you out if you do. So this section of the guide is about creating legends, and if your map has been created using style sheets, which this one has, it's really only a 3 or 4 click process. But before we do that, we have to prepare the layer that this legend will go on. There's only a couple layers we haven't done anything with. One is called legend, and that could really be named anything. It doesn't matter. But what does matter is the feature type associated with that. And hopefully you know by now that is set in the map views. So right now that has nothing on it or associated with it. To do that, we just drag this from the non-map layer to this map view, and we are prompted to assign a feature type, which is legend in this case. Now, you may have noticed that image is also set to legend, and I'm pointing this out because in the previous video I told you that you could not do that, but apparently I was wrong because this one seems to be functioning fine. But what is important is that the layer where our legend will go now has the feature type of legend. And just so I don't get confused, I better change this back. I'll move this out of the way. Back on our map style sheets, our layer is selected here. We need to select the style sheet that we want to apply the legend to here. And this feature is kind of hidden underneath this contextual flyout menu. If I click on that, here's my option to create map style sheet legend. Now, these settings are fine for this example. It's really trial and error. If you want to see what they do, change them and see what happens. I'll click OK, and it places that legend in the lower left-hand corner of our artboard. Now, at this point, we're really getting into a presentational end result. And by that I mean, we're not creating this so we can send it to another application and crunch numbers or put analyst tools to. We're just creating a pretty map. And I say that because, at this point it just makes sense to start organizing this thing using the Illustrator tool set. I can move this around. If I want to change the text, for example, that might be civil building. If I don't like this vertical orientation, it's a group when it was first created, but you can right-click and select Ungroup, and either manually just move these around to where you want them. I'm going to move this down here. Or you can use the Align tool set, which is built right into Illustrator to help get those into position. I'll align them by top and then also by horizontal spacing. So this might be something more in line with what I want this map to be, and I'm just using my arrow keys to kind of nudge that into place. So that's legends. If I wanted to do the same thing with roads, it's the exact same steps. Right click, just click on that context menu, create map style, hit OK, and there we go. Oops. But that I don't want. The last thing we need to do before we get into some customization of this map is to add a scale bar. Now we've got one unused layer. Let me move that over, which is right here. And noticing a trend here, we have to assign a feature type to that. I'll drag it out of the non-map layers. And for a feature type, scale bars are also set to legend. that's something you'll just have to remember. Then I'll click OK. So now we don't actually need the style sheets, and I don't think we need this, but I'll keep it open just in case. But what you do need is this tool right here, Scale Bar. Click on that and you'll be prompted with a little walkthrough of creating your scale bar. And it's pretty self-explanatory. I can change my units. Oh, let's try, you can't see it, I'm at the bottom of the screen here. Oh, there it is. Yard. If I want my interval, let's say 1,000, how about? I can add my units at the end, which is right here. And when it looks good, oh yeah, and if you want to change the style of it, lots of stuff to choose from. That one looks fine. When you're ready, click OK, and it positions this scale. But what's really kind of neat about this is it's a dynamic scale, meaning that we can scale this, not to confuse scale with scale. You can scale this as a tool, and the scale itself, the graphic scale, automatically updates. So that's kind of a neat thing as well. So that is the quick start guide up to step 8 and then some.